Hello and welcome to this episode in which we're going to continue answering questions brought in biology. You're going to be with me, Munir Mustafa. We're still continuing with the Form 3 syllabus. So without wasting any time, let's start with the questions. Our first question states that define tropism, question A. So a question like this just requires someone to define, to give the meaning and a bit of understanding on tropism. So we can answer it by saying tropism is the type of movement or plant growth towards or against a stimulus. So when talking about tropism, we're just talking about any type of movement or plant growth which is directed towards or against a stimulus. So for a tropism to occur, it should react to a certain stimulus. It can be either positively, that is towards the stimulus, or it can be negatively, against any stimulus. For example, we have phototropism, in which the growth occurs either towards light or against light. Moving on to our second question, we are told to state the biological importance of hydrotropism and phototropism. So here we are told to state the biological importance of two types of tropisms, that is hydrotropism and phototropism. So in answering a question like this, the student should have a complete concept on those two terms. Once the student has the concept on these two terms, they can answer the question rather easily by asking themselves, due to these two things, that is hydrotropism and phototropism, why is it important for an organism to have these two things? So beginning with hydrotropism, we can say that first of all, the meaning of hydrotropism, which is hydrotropism is the movement or plant growth towards or against water. So hydrotropism is basically directed towards water. Hydrotropism is important to organisms as being positively hydrotrophic or negatively hydrotrophic, which can help organisms to gain nutrients or protection, first of all. So hydrotropism is important for someone or for any organism to gain either nutrients or to gain protection. That is, some of them use water as a source of nutrients and others use water as a source of protection for them. For instance, in plants, the roots are positively hydrotrophic, which means it grows towards where water is located so that it can gain water for nutrients use. So a plant root can grow towards a source of water, which is anywhere. Or you can see in seedlings the radicle. The radicle grows towards water sources. And also phototropism is the movement or plant growth towards a light stimulus. So phototropism comes from the two words, photo, which means light, and tropism, which means movement. So phototropism is actually any type of movement or plant growth which is directed toward light stimulus. So some organisms are positively phototropic while others are negatively phototropic. But phototropism is important to organisms such as plants, as they need an adequate amount of light for photosynthesis. So some plants or all plants need enough light for photosynthesis to occur. That's why they are positively phototropic. That is, whenever they grow towards a position where they can gain maximum light for photosynthesis. So it shows that plants, for instance, the sunflower always faces the sun. Wherever the sun is, the sunflower faces the sun. There are other plants in which the leaves are directed in such a way that they gain maximum sunlight. So plants show positive phototropism. Moving on to our second question, we are told to state any 5 functions of the skeleton. So a question like this is straightforward. It just needs someone to mention what are the functions of the skeleton. We all know what a skeleton is, or how the structure of the skeleton is. What is needed is just to mention the functions of the skeleton. So you can answer it just by using a bullet-based answer, just like this, in which we can see how it is answered. For instance, first of all, to support the body. So one function of the skeleton is to support the body in such a way that the body should not fall down. For instance, if human beings did not have the skeleton, then they would have not have any shape. They would not be able to stay stable, that they would not be able to stay even straight. So the skeleton acts as a support for the organism. Also, to provide protection to delicate organs and tissues. Due to the fact that the skeleton is made up of hard bones, the skeleton has also a job of protecting delicate organs from either injury or shock. For instance, the brain is encased inside the skull, the heart and lungs are encased by the ribs, in such a way that the bones or the skeleton protects or provides protection against injury for these delicate organs, which would have been very, very problematic if anything happened to them, or if any damage happened to those organs. Locomotion. So also the skeleton functions as an anchor for muscles, in which when muscles contract and relax, it can help with the movement. So another function of skeleton is to aid in locomotion. Another one is storage of minerals such as calcium and phosphates. So the skeleton does not only have the function of being a support system or a locomotion system or even a protection system, but also it provides a storage place for various minerals such as calcium minerals, in which these strengthen the bones and teeth. Also we have phosphates, which have nearly the same function, and many other minerals which are stored in the bones. Also we have the manufacture of red blood cells, that is, it's found in the bone marrow. So red blood cells, the skeleton also has the function of manufacturing red blood cells, which provide oxygen, or which transport oxygen throughout the body in the blood. So these red blood cells are manufactured in the bone marrow. So due to this, the skeleton also has a function as a manufacturing site. So to cap it all off, we can see that the functions of the skeleton can be to support the body, to provide protection to delicate organs and tissues, locomotion, storage of minerals such as calcium and phosphates, and the manufacture of red blood cells, which is found in the bone marrow.
you.